Hello everyone. My name is Hana, and today I will share my story with you. The story which in the beginning relates so much to the last slide of Petret, which is us living what I called in a shell because of our history and what we went through. So how we broke the shell and how we went global is all what my story is tonight. My name is Hana, and I was born and raised and lived forever in Kosovo, a place which shaped my identity for good and for bad, and for both of which I'm really proud today, because they made me who I am. Because of all the political situation and everything that we went through, we lived in a place where it was always very difficult to leave the country because of all the visa situation and all, again, what we went through. And because of that, I think we all lived in a shell, thinking that this is all what we will experience, thinking that we will get only to visit some certain places, get to see some same people, get to eat mainly the same food. So basically living here, and imagine how this impacts the way you dream and the way you see your future. In the other side, in terms of the market, I grew up in an economic environment where we were always mainly the consumers of imported products rather than being producers or competitive with other economies. So again, imagine how this impacts the way you think and the way you dream about your life, especially when you are somebody who will start a business in Pristina. Besides this, I want to tell you today how we, despite all of these challenges, broke this shell and went global. So it was 6 years ago when me and Darcy started thinking about doing something on our own. We were both working in tech industry in an outsourcing company, and we were constantly discussing of what we can do together. But living in Kosovo and having to face all these challenges, we knew that, there are so many limitations that we have to break. Because apart from all what I mentioned before, entering in the tech sector, again, we were facing different challenges. We are not part of Google Ads, we cannot order on Amazon, we cannot use PayPal, we cannot even many times listen to our favorite songs and watch our favorite videos. But what we can do really good is find workarounds. So we say lyrics, and at least we get to listen to the songs. And this really made us creative and made us find the ways to work out. So we were constantly discussing of what we can do together, because we are a couple. Darcy is my partner in life and in business. And one thing that we do really good is point out in each other the strengths that we have. So you can do this good, no, you can do this good. So why don't we do something together and see what we can do for the future? So this is how we started. Initially, we had the idea to start an outsourcing company, because that was what we kind of knew how to do it, but it was a very far-fetched idea. Why? Because we didn't know how to get to the first clients. So we said, okay, this is impossible. Another idea that came to us because of working in the tech industry was that we experienced and we saw the demand for developers was constantly rising. So we said, why not start an opportunity, which we called the digital school, where we would teach kids ages 8 to 18 years old programming languages and give them the opportunity to become the future developers, or how we say sometimes, the army of the future. So this is what we did. But at that time, we only had 1,000 euros, which were all of our savings that we had in our bank. And it was something we actually planned to go to Bulgaria for holiday skiing, but we chose the other option. So what we did, we initially, besides deciding to do it, we invested this money in buying 10 computers, which costed 100 each. And then got some furniture from friends and family, which were mainly which were mainly desks and chairs. So what we did, we rented a very small office space in Pristina, in Ulpiana. And even though it was so old and so small, we put our souls into it, and we kind of loved it more and more each day. So we did everything that we could, and that it was in our power, because we didn't have access to any kind of funds. And this is how we started. One thing that was really, really important all along is that we always believed in our idea. And we used to tell our story constantly, like I say now, as we were selling diamonds when we had basically nothing in our hands, because we believed so much in what we were doing and in the vision that we were pursuing. We started digital school with two strategies. The first strategy was to target parents so that we would raise awareness on the benefits of learning programming since childhood. And the second one was to invest so much in the quality of learning so that we would develop kids, we will give the kids the chance to come out as little experts. And after 1 year, at least 1 year, they will start showing exact results. Web pages or applications, software solutions that they would do for others independently, completely. So we did exactly this. After 1 year, kids started to show exact results. What they did is that they started to help a lot in their community. They started to build web applications. They started to digitize exams in their schools. They started to, some of them build an app for National Heritage of Pristina, which is the only app that Pristina still has. Or some of them build web pages or applications for their business families or for neighbors. So this is how the word spread out. And this became the best marketing for us. So the demand grew. And what we did is all the money that came in, we reinvested into develop another classroom and another classroom. And we basically opened the classrooms through renting each room in the same floor. So after becoming a kind of a success story, I participated in a competition at the US Embassy, which was an opportunity, a program to go to United States, where I would be mentored for 1 month by a woman CEO of a very successful US company. This was a huge opportunity for me, especially living in a shell, in an isolated country where opportunities to go out and participate in such competitions and programs are, not to say impossible, but very limited. So I grabbed this opportunity very close to my heart, and yes, I won the competition, and I went to US. I went to US with a big confidence that I was going there to share my story, because I was thinking that we are doing something so big, while all we had basically was we were just another after-hours course in the middle of all the rest, teaching kids some kind of course. But when I went to US, beside of sharing my story with digital school, I went there with the idea to pursue my other dream, which I said in the beginning, which was to open up an outsourcing company where we would provide software development solution mainly to international markets, an opportunity that we didn't have in the beginning to find the first client. So here it was my first chance, and I used it really well. So while I was there, one thing that happened also is that immediately I started comparing myself, because for the first time I saw myself in a group of different cultures. Women who were participating in this program were all doing successful businesses in their countries, but one thing that they did more than me is that they were doing business on a way different level. So I felt so small. Some of them were franchising, some of them were exporting their services to different countries, some of them were traveling back and forth to different cities. So my big story that I was so inspired to share became really, really small. They say it's bad to compare. Believe me, it really did good to me, because I got so inspired by them that I immediately got obsessed with the idea to start franchising digital school. Because that is when I thought, why we are not doing this? Forget all the challenges and limitations that I mentioned, but we never even dreamed of doing this. And this is what hurt, because we never dared to even dream, that this is possible of doing. So, again, I mentioned also the idea of doing the business. So what I did, I discussed it with my mentors, Gladys and Qerimi, for whom I am very thankful for their time that they spent with me. And beside mentorship and everything, we became very close friends very quickly. And I shared the idea of doing the outsourcing company, and that's when they believed me, and they agreed to outsource one of their operational projects to Pristina, which in reality meant hiring 10 engineers as soon as possible so that we would deliver services for them as a client, as the first client. So what I said in this case, I said we will not do this via digital school because we have a mission and a very clear vision of what we want to achieve. But what we will do, we will start another company from where we will provide these services to you. And for them, it wasn't a problem. So what I did, I called Darcy immediately from US and asked him to go and register the company as soon as possible and published a call for hiring. And that's how Star Labs, our second company, happened on 2017, just one year after we started digital school. So I came back from US after 1 month with another already set up company, which was doing good. And the dream, not to say the obsession, of franchising the digital school. 1 month after I came back, Star Labs was doing really good. But the idea of franchising seemed really crazy to everybody that I told to. So whoever I spoke this idea, they even stared at me and said, this is not possible. What the hell are you thinking, exporting education from Kosovo? Or they just stared and didn't say anything, maybe out of respect. But anyhow, I was believing so much in this idea. And that is the exact period when we received an email from Slovenia asking us if we would cooperate with them because they were seeking a similar opportunity to open up a similar school in Ljubljana. And of course, we said yes. We offer franchising for digital school without having anything, just the mindset was there. Of course, we told our Slovenian now partners that you have to wait us because we have just started the process of documenting everything, and they were so understanding. And we documented everything, and we made it possible for Slovenia to have a same school as we did. So what happened, we made a very successful first franchise in Ljubljana. This opportunity to us was so huge that we put everything we could in this to make it a success story because we knew that this would open up other opportunities for the future. And this is what happened. As soon as we shared the news that we have Slovenia as our first franchise, people, even in Kosovo, started to believe us more. And we got many requests from cities in Kosovo, also from the region, from Bosnia and from Macedonia, where we opened up the franchises during that exact year that I came from US. So we opened up in 6 cities of Kosovo, and also in Bosnia, 1 location, and also several locations in North Macedonia. But this is the moment I got a new obsession. There came the idea in my head, seeing all the kids around us speaking fluent English. I thought businesses like language teaching schools will very soon not have a future because kids are learning English by playing games, by internet, or via YouTube. So what they should do, they should definitely transform so that they can survive in their future. And with this idea in my head, I pursued the only way it was in my power to search online. So I searched on Google, I remember the keyword, I put the biggest language teaching schools in the world. And I think this was daring. I got a list of schools who teach languages, and I wrote to each one in their webpage, pitching my idea, why they need us. Why they need us more than we need you. That was another daring. I told them, programming is just another language. Programming is just another language that we need to teach kids so that they can survive in the tech future where every profession is related to technology. And this will fit very well into your business model because you already have the clientele and you already have the facilities, so our course would fit very perfectly and very easily into your business model. Without any hope, I just did that, and after 3 weeks, I received an email from Berlitz, who is one of the biggest players in this field, with over 500 locations globally. Hi, Hana. This sounds like a really nice idea. Let's talk further on how you do the franchising. And this was amazing. So that's when we prepared so hard to present everything that we did, to come up with really professional presentations. We had so many calls with them, and in the end, we convinced them to come and visit us in Pristina. And once they came to Pristina, they not just even talked to us, but they also talked to all the kids in the school and saw by themselves the results that they were showing. And very fast, we came to an agreement that they would open up the piloting franchises of digital school in 4 cities of Germany, in Berlin, Frankfurt, Erfurt, and Dresden. So it was 4 cities of Germany for us, a dream come true then. The pilots went really good because we did everything that was in our power, not just me and Darcy, but all the team that we have around, who put them souls into this because they believe that this is happening and this is possible. We made them possible, we made them very successful, and very soon we grew into the other locations that Berlitz has. We went not just in the German territory, but also in Mexico, in Morocco, in Tunisia, and in Hong Kong. Because I mentioned they own 500 locations globally. So the opportunity was huge. While all of this was happening, one thing that I forgot to mention is that our Slovenian partner found us the next client for Star Labs. So at the same time, Star Labs was growing as well. He became our salesperson to find us work. So we were growing on both sides. But while all this growth was happening, guess what happened? Pandemic. So we shut down everything that we opened. We shut down every location of all the franchisees around the world, and it was a shock. It was a financial shock, and it was a mental shock, because everything was put to zero. So we were faced with 2 options. One was to wait and pray that this will end soon, and the second one was to turn everything online, which meant to transform everything that we did so far. So thank God we chose the second. We didn't wait. We transformed everything online, and in a matter of 1 month, we reopened everything. What we did in 1 month with our team, both in Star Labs and Digital School, is that we developed our own learning management system. We integrated our own video conferencing solution, which would make the experience of online learning really good, and we implemented the gaming learning methodology, which would make a greater experience for the kids to learn online. So not just learn, but enjoy the process of learning from home while going through all the traumas of the COVID. This impressed Germans. So beside opening the locations that they closed, we came up to a new contract agreement during the pandemic that we signed online from the home, which was to go global. So now we got the opportunity to go global, not just physically, but also globally online, to reach every kid around the world and give them the possibility to learn programming. Also, on the other side, Star Lab was tripling because the COVID and the pandemic grew the need for tech services so much that we were booming with Star Lab. So we were pulling ties all over the place. So yes, while we were all growing and having this success, I have a map here that I want to show. This is something I forgot to tell you. It's Berlitz. When we went to wait on the airport, the directors that were coming, and imagine the stress that we were feeling at that moment. And also, this is where we are today. So in blue, you see all the countries where currently, physically, digital school is teaching kids. And also in red are all the countries where we work with Star Labs. So today, over 10,000 kids are learning programming via our curriculum, via our own methodology and our own processes. And this is where we got today. So now we don't have anymore the old facilities that we had in the beginning. We closed that building, even though it was so sad and emotional to us. Now we are in the city center of Pristina, owning 1,700 square meters office space, where we have the digital school and Star Labs, a team of over 200 people delivering these services globally. So this is the end of my story. It took lots of daring. Daring to trust each other in the beginning, daring to quit our jobs, daring to aim global, but most importantly, daring to think that you can come out of this so-called isolation and shell. So, dare to break the shell is my topic, and pursue your ideas despite all the challenges that you can face, because there is always a way. Thank you.